We got the Fark got rid of, was given new tools to the Premier League, and we haven't recovered from that.
What about you?
Yeah, so I agree. Webber is a rot that should have left when Stewart left. Napa out of his depth. Look at the signings he's made. They've not really had any sort of long-term impact. There's no resale value on any of them. And Manning, if we lose today, that's 7 home games on a row. Can you really put all your balls in one court with a manager that can't win at home? Really? There's no direction for the club at the minute. It's a case of sleepwalking into League One.
Well, there's the thoughts of 3 people. 2 of them kind of come to watch, sort of lend a little bit of distant support to the protest. One gentleman here was here to join in. Back to you, Phil, in the gantry.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rob. We all know how bad it's been at home this season, but Liam Manning has asked fans to give them as much support as possible for this crucial run.
Stick with us. I think I get the frustration, I get the disappointment. I think, we showed a good response first half at Swansea to come back, which again is something that we hadn't done, so we have to take that as another experience. I totally get the frustration and all the emotion around it. I totally get it. But for me, what's going to help us try and get 3 points tomorrow will be everybody pulling in the same direction. So I think, look, around either side of the kick-off and the final whistle, like I'm saying, to give absolutely everything. What we can't do, and at times I think we've been guilty of when we concede, of looking sorry for ourselves. You can't do that. We're in a fight, we're in a scrap. Whatever happens, we go ahead, great. If we don't, we have to same intent, same body language, same level of aggression. That has to be maximal tomorrow. We're in a scrap, we're in a fight, and we have to show that.
Yeah, we've heard from the head coach, we've heard from the owner. Now it's time to hear from the players to see what they can do. Norwich City in trouble towards the bottom of the Championship. Can they try and turn the ship around against Hull? Let's hand over to your commentary team for this one. We've got the former Canary, Cedric Antelam, and of course, our man Chris Gorham.
Halloween last night. Carrow Road has been the venue of 1 or 2 horror shows already this season, but maybe the start of a new month can bring a change of fortunes for Norwich City. They've lost all 6 of their home games so far this season. It's a dreadful.
Number 23 and captain, Eddie McLean. Number 24, Jordan McCarthy. Number 27, Jeffrey Schlott. Number 29, Oscar Sparta. And number 35, Kellen Fisher. Well, Canary fans, we need you in all 4 corners of the ground as we sing the oldest and greatest football song in the world. 3, 2, 1.
Schwartau will just move infield and then pass the ball back to the halfway line, in the first few groans of the afternoon from the Carrow Road crowd, because they want to see Norwich take the game to the opposition a little bit more than that move has suggested. But Darling now is making good use of the ball, and he has picked out Schlupp in a good position, left-hand side, played into the penalty area. McCarmer couldn't quite get there, and the defender Giles turns it out of play for the first corner of the game. In the end, Norwich were patient, and it wasn't a bad decision to go back to the halfway line, because it then opened up for them.
No, exactly. Sometimes if you can't play forward, we have to recycle the ball and be patient, and it's exactly what Darling did. He just received the ball, he had no option going forward. He's actually, take the ball and just run into the space and release the ball on the left-hand side to Schlupp, which he make a lovely cross into the box.
So first corner of the game, we've got both Fisher and McLean standing over the ball here to take the corner. So trying to keep Hull guessing as to whether it's going to be a left-footed in-swinger from McLean or whether Fisher's going to play it with his right foot. McLean is doing all the talking, all the instructions, so that suggests he's the favourite, and that is indeed what happens towards the far post. Duffy is there to try and head it back across goal, and he can't quite do enough, and it's gone behind. Shane Duffy last season 4 goals, including a couple right at the end of the season. He's actually got, I know it's a long time now, but he's actually scored 2 in his last 3 games for Norwich City, Shane Duffy. So in terms of goal scoring form,
I think it's probably what Liam Manning has just been looking into and just put him from the start. But coming back to the corners, obviously we mentioned, or you mentioned already, that the goalkeeper, Hull City's got the sun in his eye. Just put the ball quite close to him and just see what we're going to, instead of trying to be a perfect.
He's back with the goalkeeper now, and he nearly got tackled by Schwartau. He left that to the last possible moment before playing it out. Norwich coming into the game a bit more now with Fisher, and now back to Shane Duffy. One touch back to Kellen Fisher on the right-hand side. Fisher plays it up early towards Sargent, who senses an opportunity here, Josh Sargent. He's got movement to the left, that's from Schlupp. Corner of the penalty area, it's Jeffrey Schlupp for Norwich City. Plays it across, deflection, takes it behind, and it's a corner, and another round of applause breaks out at Carrow Road. Cautious optimism, a bit of encouragement for the supporters here.
That again is starting from Schwal to just sort of engage in the pressing the keeper, and the keeper just panic because, as I just mentioned, he's got the sun, he cannot really see too much, and just panicking and trying to kick it, and we just managed to get the second ball.
And we've got 2 Norwich players going over to take the corner again. This time McLean's got Schwartau with him from the left-hand side, but again it will be McLean who will drive this corner into the penalty. Duffy gets his head to it! Oh, the keeper turns it over the bar. What a moment that would have been. Shane Duffy, who scored the last goal at Carrow Road at the end of last season when they beat Cardiff with a header from a corner. Very nearly got on the end of that one. He did get on the end of it, and he nearly scored, but the keeper's tipped it over the bar for another corner.
Just a good training routine, I would say. Everyone run to the near post, and you can see what's going on.
Well, there's a McCarmer and one of the Hull players wrestling in the 6-yard box before the corner can be taken. Now this is a new tactic that Norwich are employing today, Cedric. Every time they get a corner, well, this is the 3rd one, McLean goes over to take it, and he's got someone else with him as well. So it was Schwartau on the left and it's Fisher on the right.
It's just to bring 2 defenders out as well of the area just around Hull, so we can pack up outnumber in the box. So if you can see, you got Fisher and McLean just near the corner flag, and just in front you got 2 Coventry players just coming to in case if we play a quick corner.
Here's the corner. McLean plays it in towards the far post. Oh, it's a free header from McConville, and he's put it wide, and he puts his head in his hands. I think he didn't quite expect the ball to reach him, and then suddenly there he was at the far post, but not quite the goal at his mercy, but it was a good opportunity, wasn't it? It was right in front of the goal, and he seemed to just arrived a second late, didn't he? Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there, but it looked like McConville was in space, had a free header, and the goal in front of him.
Exactly, we've been in the front foot, on set pieces, we've been very dangerous. McConville just had an unbelievable chance to just make Norwich 1-0 up, just managed to head the ball, just off target.
And now at the other end, Hull try and attack. Duffy sweeps up, gets its goalkeeper Kovacevic, who plays it out to Kellen Fisher. Fisher is closed down. Norwich will get a throw in their right back position. So we've seen Sargent squander a good opportunity from a calm cross, and then the 2 players recalled to the starting lineup today, Duffy and McConville, with their headers from set pieces. Duffy brought a save out of the keeper. McConville probably should have done better. He was just a bit tentative, didn't really attack the ball. And is this another one of these games where Liam Manning is going to be looking at missed opportunities and Norwich not taking the chances when they're on top, but at least they are on top at the moment. 0-0 it is still. Here's Schlupp with some room on the left-hand side. Schwartau has made a good run in front of him. Left-hand side, up towards the corner of the penalty area, gets tackled, and Schlupp can't get to the second ball. Hull are able to clear, but Duffy's there on halfway to steer it into the path of Maatsen, and there's room for Maatsen to build another Norwich attack here. Towards the left-hand side, Schlupp is waiting for it. He's taking up some good positions in the early part of this game, and he skipped into the penalty area. Schlupp hits one. It's blocked, and behind it goes, and Norwich have got another corner.
Yeah, very on the front foot on both sides of the pitch, on the left and on the right, with Schlupp and Fischer on the right. You know, very dangerous on the wings, early balls in the box. It's just a lovely trick from Schwartau. Just managed to get in the box and trying to hit with his right foot, just button block.
Well, we've seen McConville and Duffy go close from set pieces for Norwich inside these first 15 minutes. Can they get the delivery right again here? 0-0. Norwich looking for only their second goal at the Barclay end this season. Corner from the left. McLean drives it towards the edge of the penalty area. Duffy heads it into the danger zone. Darling with his back to goal couldn't turn, and Hull are able to clear, but they had brought everybody back, so Kovacevic can sweep up almost on halfway, exchanges passes with Schlupp, and Kovacevic has now run into the centre circle before firing the ball forward. Duffy's still up there, putting himself about. Hull have cleared. Fischer trying to keep the pressure on. Kovacevic is still standing on the halfway line here. If Hull get this ball up quickly, Norwich might have a problem, and they have launched it long. And it's headed away by McLean, and he's got good distance on it, and it's McCalmer just thought it might run for him, but it's gone out of play for a throw in, and Kovacevic still hasn't returned to his penalty area.
No, he's just outside his box, he's just commanding everybody.
Well, we saw Hull try to lob the ball over him from the kickoff.
Exactly.
It's going to happen at some point this season, isn't it? He's going to. He has a very high starting position. Sometimes that saved Norwich this season. So.
Yeah, but we have saw with Manchester United, the goalkeeper Onana, was when he was playing in Inter Milan. So I'm not saying it's the modern football goalkeepers.
Well, you're not wrong. 0-0. Hull now trying to come forward with Crooks, having soaked up a fair bit of Norwich pressure over the last few moments, but it hasn't led to that all-important Norwich City goal. On the right-hand side with Coyle, who plays it all the way back towards his goalkeeper, but John Egan, the experienced centre-back, isn't having any of it. He intercepts and tries to get Hull going from deep here. It's with Hadžiahmetović in midfield, who was playing in Turkish leagues last season, and spotted there by Sergej Jukirovic, who is the Hull manager. And Norwich have just stolen possession here. Sargent just couldn't quite make it stick. Fischer goes driving forward, then McCalmer turns it back to Rory McConville, and the Canaries have just had to retreat back into their own half in order to get controlled possession. Here's Darling to Schlupp, who tries to play the ball forward, blocked, and Norwich start again with McConville on halfway. 0-0. McConville to Duffy. Duffy's just inside his own half, floats one forward there, and he's picked up Schwartau, who heads it down to Sargent on the edge of the penalty area. Sargent trying to make room, just had the ball nicked away from him. Maatsen a little bit slow to react to it, but has still got Hull under pressure. They haven't cleared it. Here is Sargent on the right-hand side, trying to keep the attack going. Back to Kenny McLean. Bit of anticipation building at Carrow Road. Harry Darling 35 yards out, the centre-back. McLean lurking behind him. See, Darling now wants to get back into position in case he's caught out, and Norwich get a free kick because down goes McLean. But Kenny McLean is saying you could have played advantage there to referee Josh Smith, because Schwartau had just got on the ball in a good position. Still 0-0, but a lot to like about what Norwich are doing so far.
Very good spell the last 10-15 minutes. Very dangerous in the opposition box. Put early ball in the box. We've been very dangerous in every aspect. We moved the ball quickly as well. We found little triangle to hurt Hull City, sort of very deep line, and use the width that we're creating with Schlupp and Fischer on the right.
Norwich on top, but haven't got anything to show for it at the moment. Free kick, left-hand side, halfway inside the Norwich half. Okay, we've reached the 19th minute, and the referee's just stopping the game because, look, about 5 tennis balls have been thrown onto the pitch. There was talk before the game that there might be an organised protest, and that some fans were going to bring tennis balls to throw onto the pitch after 19 minutes and 2 seconds, 1902, the year Norwich were formed. 1, 2, 3, about 4 or 5 were thrown on from the River End. I can't see any others. So in the end, it didn't really. The message didn't really catch on, did it? I think the fact that Mark Atanasio, when he was on BBC Radio Norfolk this week, announced that the River End changes were being paused, has probably calm some people down as McLean floats the free kick into the penalty area. Duffy around the back trying to hook it, but he was in an offside position. So, yeah, there was a handful, no more than that, of tennis balls thrown onto the pitch.
Four yellow balls.
That was it.
Yeah, I mean tennis balls, because we're playing with a yellow ball.
We are playing with a yellow ball, yeah. And it didn't cause the hold-up, the stoppage that perhaps some people had hoped it would or intended it would.
They throw the 4 balls in the same area, so it's obviously quick to clear out.
Yeah, and one of the ball boys came on, not dressed as one of the Wimbledon ball boys, and picked it up, and on we go. So I don't think many Norwich fans would want to disrupt this game at the moment, because you wouldn't want to disrupt the pattern of it. Norwich are on top at the moment, but when you're in the bottom 3 as Norwich are, you start to get those nagging concerns that, oh, hang on, we've had a good spell here and we haven't scored. Is that going to be costly? Yeah, you don't want the nerves to just start to install in our play. We've been on the front foot, to be fair. All City haven't sort of been really dangerous, apart obviously the strike from our halfway line right to the start. I think is the only strike they had on goals so far. Is Hull in possession though. Norwich moving everybody back behind the ball. Egan, Irish centre-back, Sheffield United for a long time, plays it forward. Well dealt with and comfortably dealt with by Norwich. Schlupp gets tackled, but the ball's gone out of play for a throw-in. Egan was part of that Chris Wilder Sheffield United team that did so well over the years. Had a little spell at Burnley before joining Hull. Coming back to your point earlier, Chris, when you said the opposition obviously like to attack on the left-hand side of Norwich, I just obviously had a bit of a reflection of what you just said. We're very experienced on the left-hand side today with Schlupp and Darling, and even sort of centrally with Duffy. Sometimes he's just come to cover Darling. Sargent heads the ball on, and Fisher's made a run through the middle and very nearly got to the ball there. Hull a little slow to react to it. It's been picked up by McConville on halfway. Maatsen behind him. Can Norwich get up another head of steam here? Maatsen sweeps it out towards the left-hand side. He's picked out Schlupp. What a pass. Schlupp bursting forward. He's strong in possession. He's level with the penalty area. Cuts it back to Maatsen on the edge of the area. Maatsen gets the shot away, and it's gone behind. And it's a goal kick. But Norwich showing a lot more intent, a lot more invention than we've seen in a lot of matches at Carrow Road this season. I mentioned earlier on, Cedric, they've only scored 2 goals in their last 5 matches, but they are playing with a little bit more confidence than that suggests so far. We play with a bit more desire and a purpose going forward. We're more dangerous, we've got more movement, and I just mentioned Schwarto and Makama just be playing more closely to Sargent, help him as well. Good header forward from Duffy. Schwarto knocks it on, but couldn't really get any decent distance on it, and the Hull captain Coyle easily sweeps up. Schlupp snaps in with a challenge. Foul given. Liam Manning doesn't like it. He's waving his arms around on the far side of the pitch. Leicester City 0, Blackburn Rovers 1 in another of the early kickoffs in the Championship. Norwich will play Leicester at Carrow Road next Saturday. A 3 o'clock game you can hear with us on BBC Radio Norfolk. Norwich have just given the ball away. Hull coming through the midfield and now up towards the right edge of the penalty area, and Slater with a lovely dummy there, and it's been set up for Ndala with the shot, blocked by Fisher. Hull's first real threat on the Norwich goal. Can they make it count? It's on the edge of the penalty area. The shot comes in and it fizzes over the top there, from outside the penalty area from Gelhardt. But I think there are a few Norwich fans there who are thinking this is typical. Norwich have been on top for long spells, and they very nearly got opened up there by giving the ball away themselves. Yeah, exactly. Good play from Hull. Very patient teams. They like to move the ball. Low animation in front. Just lovely cross into the box. Just a dummy and a good block from Fisher. And Gelhardt hit the shot. 5 goals this season. He's on loan from Leeds. I think we're very compact in the middle in terms of numbers. It's just, if you look Hull at the way they play, they don't play long ball. They look like to play short passes, triangles, and just trying to progress the ball that way. We're in the 25th minute, 0-0 between Norwich City and Hull City. The ball's with the Hull captain, from the Leeds man, Louis Coyle. Plays it to Crooks in midfield. Crooks holds off Maatsen. Gets the ball towards the right-hand side where Schlupp is strong in the challenge there on Gelhardt and wins a free kick. He's having a good game here, Schlupp. This is the best I've seen him play for Norwich so far. He's having a lot of the ball on the left-hand side. He's demanding. He's using his experience in terms of his position when we lose the ball. So yeah, so far very encouraging. 32 years old, very experienced. Hasn't really had the impact he would have hoped at Norwich yet, as Maatsen plays the ball forward. Bit of a hopeful one towards the edge of the Hull penalty area. Difficult to deal with, but deal with it they have with Egan, the centre-back. And now Charlie Hughes, the other centre-back, has it and plays it across to Coyle, who's been with Hull This is the year 2020. Back towards the edge of his own penalty area it goes. And Egan just clips it out back towards Coyle on the right-hand side. Schlupp presses up now, forces the error. McLean turns it forward. Sargent has dropped deep to try and head the ball on, but unable to make the ball stick there in the attacking part for Norwich City. Egan gives his goalkeeper a really awkward back pass. Panda, the keeper, does well to sort of shin it away, but it's ended up with Fisher and then Makama in an attacking position for Norwich City. Right edge of the penalty area. Makama bursts through, but the ball is then played against him and through to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, good play from Makama on the right-hand side. He could have released the ball a bit quicker to Fisher, who was very, very wide and almost on the touchline to receive the ball. He's just trying to go on 1v1. Fortunately, the touch went to the Hull City keeper.
Norwich City 0, Hull City 0. BBC Radio Norfolk. We're live at Carrow Road for you. And right through until 6 o'clock tonight, we've got live sport for you. Southport against Kings Lynn in National North to come. Kings Lynn back under the management of Ian Culverhouse, who was reappointed for the 3rd time as the Kings Lynn Town manager this week. Nick Bowler's made the journey to the northwest to cover that one for you today. McConville for Norwich, up towards Makama on halfway. Heavy touch back to Callum Fisher. Fisher holding off the challenges and then does well to find Pelle Mattsson. Mattsson carries the ball up towards halfway. Plays it to Schwartau in a central position. Out wide to the left now and Schlupp. Schlupp fancies taking on Coyle, the fullback, and he's got past him. Crosses. Doesn't quite pick out Sargent, slightly behind him and cleared away. But Schlupp is having quite an impact in this game, isn't he, at the moment?
Yeah, I think the position he's playing, obviously, with the 2 number 10s, and he's just on the left-hand side, is really suiting him in terms of, because he's a very technical player and can create a lot of...
Sargent's been pushed to the ground there by one of the Hull defenders, but it's not been spotted.
Yeah, that was a very push, and I think the fans have showed their...
And then Schlupp goes in for a crunching challenge on Gelhardt, and it's a free kick to Hull. Although the fans appealed, it looked like a push from here, but I didn't really see any of the Norwich players appealing for that to be a free kick for Norwich, but there it looks it. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, Jeffrey Schlupp? 280 Premier League appearances. That tends to mean that you've got a player there you think you can really trust, really hang your hat on. He's just been booked for that challenge as well, as Schlupp. But he's struggled to get going in a Norwich City shirt so far today. But you're right, this role he's been given today, with the extra cover in terms of another centre-back behind him, a bit more freedom to go forward, it does seem to be suiting him, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course. I think he played that way at Crystal Palace for a few years, and I think he came through the door in Norwich City in the summer. I think he was already a bit picking up an injury, so didn't have a good pre-season, good fitness, and I think we start to see the real Schlupp on the left-hand side. He's up and down, and giving a bit in the final thirds with his ability to pass players. He's got very explosion runs on the left-hand side.
Well, he's got the beating of Coyle, isn't he, so far? We've seen a couple of times. Just whether Norwich can get him back into that position more often. Now Duffy wins a header on halfway. Fisher then nods it back to Rory McConville, who's playing in the Championship for the first time under Liam Manning. Exchanges passes with his goalkeeper Kovacevic. And now the Northern Ireland youngster gives the ball away to Slater in the midfield. Giles, the Hull left-back. We haven't seen him getting forward particularly well yet, but if he does, he tends to do so to good effect. No one's got more assists in the Championship this season than the Hull left-back Ryan Giles. It's to Norwich's credit, they've kept him pinned back pretty much so far. Ball in behind the Norwich defence. Kovacevic comes out to the side of his penalty area, the left-hand side, to gather it.
Yeah, no, I think the system that Liam is playing today, the 3-4-2-1, I think it doesn't allow the opposition fullback to actually push forward. I think we're quite very settled defensively.
0-0, BBC Radio Norfolk. Cedric Ancelan, the former Norwich City winger, watching this game with us today as Duffy plays the ball towards the right-hand side. Fisher just about wins a throw in there off the Man City youngster Joel Ndala, only 19.
McConville needs to start a bit more into the game. His few times he should receive the ball, he let the ball going through.
Yeah, he looks a bit like a player who hasn't played a lot of football recently, doesn't he?
He looked not confident.
McLean goes in for a challenge, but it's ricocheted nicely for Gelhardt on the front foot, but Darling gets the challenge in, and here's Schlupp again, now on a yellow card after that challenge on Gelhardt a few moments ago. The City skipper McLean now plays it towards Fisher, who's back in the team with Stacey out injured. Fisher coming forward, right-hand side, cuts infield. Can he find a pass here, Fisher? He's been invited to run with it. Schwartau now collects. Schlupp available to the left-hand side. Here he is again, Schlupp. Gives it back to Oscar Schwartau. Now Darling, every Norwich outfield player inside the Hull half at the moment. Hull dropping deep, 0-0 as Norwich try to attack the Barclay end. With McLean feeding Fisher again, wide right. Fisher wants to come in field, but there's no route forward, so Norwich have again had to go back towards the halfway line, and McConville just about getting the ball to Duffy, but again it just kept Carl Joseph, the striker for Hull, interested there, didn't he, in terms of nicking it back. And
it's just a pass that he could have played easily Duffy's feet, and he's playing the ball 5 yards in front of Duffy, with, you know, especially when Hull is just pushing forward to engage in a press.
McConville to McLean, who sweeps it forward. McCarmer helps it on. Sargent senses a chance, sprints onto it, right-hand side. Being well occupied there by the defender Egan, but Sargent has got enough about him to hold on to it. Played in field to Maatsen. It's a lovely turn from Maatsen to take Crooks out of the game. 25 yards out, Maatsen rolls it to the left-hand side. Schlupp on the run, meets it, level with the penalty area. Schlupp now works it back to Harry Darling, who's up in the attack. The central defender clips the delivery into the penalty area. Oh, towards McCarmer, but it's been headed away by Giles, who just tucked in well there and got in front of McCarmer to clear the ball. And Darla trying to bring it away for Hull. McCarmer gets the challenge in. McLean picks up the loose ball and plays it back to Duffy. Harrow Road crowd urging Norwich on. We played just over half an hour, 0-0. Norwich have been the better side, but don't have the goal that they've deserved for it. We've seen Panda make a good save from a Duffy header. We've seen McConville and Sargent squander chances from close range as well. It's just got a bit quiet the last 5 minutes or so, though, hasn't it, in terms of attacks?
We progressed the ball very, very well, and what we've done very well early.
Look at this for a run. Harry Darling taking on the Hull midfield and then getting about 15 yards inside the Hull half and thinking I better not go any further, but he finds Maatsen, who gives it to Schwartau in a great position on the left-hand side. Schwartau in the penalty area, sets it up here for Schlupp. Can Schlupp get the shot away? Oh, it's hit the top of the crossbar. Oh, they're getting closer and closer to what would only be their second goal in front of the Barclay this season. Good move from Norwich City. A slaloming run from Harry Darling. It ended up with a lovely pass from Maatsen to the left-hand side. Schwartau set up Schlupp, and he's hit the woodwork.
Yeah, good play from Schlupp and Schwartau. I think them two on the left-hand side are causing a lot of problem for Hull City. You know, you had Schwartau just going wide and Schlupp going in, just sort of them two pairing very well on the left-hand side. We could see that just now, you know, good ball from Schwartau to Schlupp inside the box. He's on his right foot. He just curled the ball. He just hit the crossbar.
Well, Jeffrey Schlupp, we've mentioned, he's had a far more positive impact on this game than I think any others he's played for Norwich so far. Another injury concern for Norwich at the moment, and it's the returning Shane Duffy, who looks like he wants to propose to the referee. He's down on one knee in front of the referee at the moment. Is Duffy just stretching something there? They've not called for the physio.
I think he took his shoes off. Is he his shoes off?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think it might be perhaps not a fitness issue.
No, I think he just took his shoes off.
Needs a new set of tyres.
Yeah. Whereas the footballers, their equipment is their shoes. They need to feel comfortable in it.
They do. The Hull team have gone over to the far side so that their manager, Bosnian Sergej Jakirovic, who was managing in Turkey last season, can get a bit of a message across for Norwich. Sargent's over there talking to Liam Manning, but the rest of the Norwich players stayed away from the head coach there. He hasn't got too much to put right here, has he, Liam Manning, other than the obvious thing, which is the fact they've not scored.
I don't think he needs to say too much to the players on the touchline. I think we've been on the front foot for the first, how long we play so far, I can't really see where we are. 33 minutes yeah. We've been on the front foot. We could have been easily 2 or 3-0 up. There's not much to change, just sort of the concentration level need to stay up.
And that's it. And that's the problem for Norwich, isn't it? That in games this season, it hasn't happened that often, but Derby away recently, they could have been 2 or 3-0 up in that game. And the trouble is they weren't. And then the opposition hit back. Here's McCarmer. Back to Duffy. Norwich's performance levels between first half and second half have been noticeably different this season. As McLean sweeps the ball forward, and Sargent's made a good run and just cannot gather the ball on the edge of the penalty area. And he looks to the skies there, Josh Sargent, because he's not had a lot of service in recent games, but today he has missed a glorious chance to give Norwich the lead.
Today he's been on the ball, he's making some lovely run. We can find easily, Sargent's. We know the variation in terms of how we play. We play with the whip. We can play sort of vertical balls with a good run from Sargent, and I think we're causing Hull City quite a lot of problem because we can actually also, find each other with short passes to progress the ball.
Header there from Duffy towards the halfway line. That is out of play for a throw-in to Hull City. We won't be panicking at all about this. They've had a really solid start to the season. Not much really expected of them this season because they were Struggling last season, only just stayed up under Ruben Selles, and then had a transfer embargo over the summer, but they've still managed to put together a squad here which is more than competed in the Championship. Fisher, out-muscled there by Ndala for Hull, and he's turning away from Fisher in a central position. Schlupp then makes a challenge, so does Maatsen. Ball's loose, Makama can't get there for Norwich City, and it's Hull who eventually emerge with it. Now here is the dangerous Giles on the left-hand side, the Championship's top creator this season. Matt Crooks alongside it. Back to the halfway line it goes now, and the midfielder Hadziamatovic plays it forward to Crooks, out towards the Hull right and Coyle from deep. He's got Crooks behind him here.
Good press from Norwich.
And Norwich not allowing Hull to get into their final third. In fact, Hull have had to go all the way back into their own half in their all sky blue strip, which does match the weather in Norfolk today, as the ball comes to Hughes on the left-hand side for Hull, and Norwich have pressed well there. Hull haven't let Norwich touch the ball, but they've had to play it all the way back to their goalkeeper.
Yeah, there's an observation, and I mentioned earlier, is Hull don't really play long balls. The only long balls they will play from their goalkeepers. They're always trying to find short passes to progress the ball.
Duffy wins the ball for Norwich City well, and now Josh Sargent's got a chance to burst over the halfway line. Here's Sargent for Norwich City, taking the game to Hull. He's up to the edge of the penalty area, shoots, and it's going to rebound here for Schwartau! Oh, just wide! Oh, Norwich City, they've had chance after chance at the Barclay end in this first half. Sargent there carried the ball half the length of the pitch, hit the shot from the edge of the penalty area. It may even have hit his own teammate, I'm not sure. Makama was there, so was a defender, and it set up nicely for Schwartau, who just tried to pass the ball into the bottom corner of the net, and he passed it the wrong side of the post.
From there, he need to hit the target. He cannot just miss out like that. You know, we all know that he's a good player. He's just lacking that sort of, you know, goal scoring. He needs to start to score more goals. Schwartau. He's got the ability and the talent, just like the execution just now. He needs to hit the target.
Well, 54 appearances for Norwich City before today, 2 goals, Oscar Schwartau.
Well, it's exactly what I'm saying. Is he need to start to complete that from the league games. He's having 2 goals.
The most recent of those was at Portman Road, with a really good finish in that game. This time, though, off target. Norwich can't keep spurning these opportunities as Schlupp hooks the ball away for a throw-in. Sargent did so well to carry the ball forward.
Yeah,
there,
no, to be fair, he's all starting from Duffy engaging to win the ball very high in terms of the build-up from Hall, and we win the ball very deep in our own half.
And they've won it again here with McLean, then on to Sargent, who this time allows Makama to carry the ball over halfway. Here come Norwich again. Makama, 25 yards out, wants Fisher now to help him out. Here he is, corner of the penalty area, tries to stand the cross up towards the far post. And it's poor, but it's gone behind, and another Norwich attack peters out.
But again, it's little things that, you know, Liam Manning on previous games, he just said we need to be better in some area of the pitch. That is one of them, is them crossing like that on the right-hand side, especially when we work in transition, win the ball. We put bodies in the final third, and the crossing is not quality.
I mean, Liam Manning's had plenty of criticism this season for obvious reasons. In terms of his game plan in this first half, the chances Norwich have created, it's worked well, hasn't it? It's just the execution.
I completely agree with you. I think, you know, the system and the structure is playing today is suiting us, you know, in terms of how Hall are trying to progress the ball, short passes. It really suits us. We just need to be a bit more clinical in the final third in a box. You know, the way we progress the ball ourselves as well with the wing backs is helping usually. It's just the crossing, a bit more quality in the box. I have to be more better execution and use the better options.
McLean finds Schlupp on the left-hand side. Back again to Darling, and now Duffy. Cedric's right, it was Duffy who snapped in with that challenge a moment ago to start one of the more recent attacks. Not a great ball forward from McConville. Too easy for Hull now to get it back with Slater, vastly experienced midfielder. This is his 197th appearance for Hull in there, Regan Slater. That's not a good ball forward from Hull. Duffy should deal with that, and does by finding Maatsen, who helps it on now towards Sargent. Sargent's tackle, but the ball breaks back for Norwich on halfway. 6 minutes to go until half-time, 0-0. Norwich have been mostly attacking in this first half. Nothing to show for it yet, but here's Schwartau looking for Schlupp on the left-hand side. Schlupp comes in field, dribbles the ball round Crooks beautifully. Schlupp looks in the mood today, and he carries it forward, and he's found Makama, and then Sargent just couldn't get on the end of the cutback on the edge of the penalty area, and Hull have just got the ball past Kenny McLean, and they've got a break on here, which Pelle Mattsson's going to take a yellow card for the team here, but he did the right thing because Hull briefly had a break on, 3 against 3. He's not going to get booked, actually. I think he's fortunate because he knew what he was doing there. He just hacked down Matt Crooks, didn't he, to stop the break, and most referees would have given a yellow card for that.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's an experienced free kicks from Mattson. Just we could see that Hull just breaking up in transitions. We were quite actually in trouble in terms of numbers. But good thought from Mattsson.
Well, 5 minutes to half-time, 0-0. Norwich, it's another one of these games where I think Liam Manning, if it stays like this, is going to go in at half-time, and he's going to be thinking, well, what more have I got to do? Because just like at Derby in one of their recent away games, Norwich well on top, lots of chances, but they just cannot take them at the moment. And when you don't take your chances, you leave yourself vulnerable to that one sucker punch, don't you? Which is what Hull are trying to make happen now with Slater. He's got the ball from Schwartau, comes forwards, finds Coyle outside him on the right-hand side. Good movement from Gelhardt, 25 yards out, but Harry Darling's having none of it, wins the ball and then gets fouled for his troubles, and that's a free kick.
What you probably have to do at half-time is to make sure that second half we start on the front foot. You mentioned earlier, before the games, that first half we're 6 in the table and second half we're rock bottom.
It's amazing, really, isn't it? You think where Norwich are, you look at first half results, first half performances, they are in the top 6.
Yeah. It's just second half, which just seems to collapse physically, potentially. We potentially like the opposition sort of set up better in second half against the way we are structured.
Yeah, sure we can talk more about that when the half-time whistle goes in 5 or so minutes. 0-0 at the moment. Norwich go long. Hughes, the defender, cuts it out, booms the ball high in the air. Mattson jumps, but it's been won by Hull. And Dala, though, can't control, and Mattson's ended up winning it back for Norwich City. Now it's his turn to take the game to Hull, but a heavy touch means that move doesn't come to anything. And it's Giles, the left back, who just drops it into the channel on the left-hand side. Asking Duffy to do some defending here under pressure from Joseph, and Duffy's got the composure just to step over it. We'll see it behind for a goal kick. Shane Duffy back in the team. He's come very close to scoring.
I would say faultless for 40 plus minutes so far from Duffy. Very experienced, come on the back 3 or the back 5 if you want to call it.
McLean carries the ball towards halfway. McConville to his right. Rory McConville now gives it back to Shane Duffy, who I think has made a difference. Norwich have looked.
Yeah, we look a bit more solid when we have to engage in terms of pressing.
Now McLean plays the ball forward. Keeper's come outside his penalty area to prevent Sargent from getting there, and he's just about got enough on it to clear it to the right-hand side for Norwich. Nice touch from Fisher onto McCarmer. Norwich have kept it in. Here's Jovan McCarmer on the right. He's wriggling away from one and then the other, and he's got it back to McConville. Norwich have gone back towards the halfway line. Kenny McLean very nearly released Sargent with the perfect ball there. McConville gives it to Mattson. Now it'll be Harry Darling. Every Hull player back defending in the closing stages of this first half. It's 0-0. Mattson to McLean. McLean has got room here. He's being allowed space to try and pick a pass. Now Hull will go and close him down. And Norwich have played it back to Shane Duffy in the centre circle. He's the furthest outfield player back for Norwich City. He's managed to pick out a low pass to Sargent. On to Kenny McLean. McLean into the penalty area for Schlupp across goal. Oh, he's gone behind McCarver, and then Fisher's missed it. McConville on the right-hand side. Turns on the corner of the penalty area, gives it to Kellen Fisher. Now can he get the cross right? Drives it in, and it's up in the air and away by the Hull defence. Mattson heads it forward. It bounces on the edge of the Hull penalty area. No one there in a yellow shirt. Norwich fans lifting the noise levels. Can they get themselves in front before half-time? McLean from deep, crosses into the penalty area. McCarmer attacks it. It's headed away by the defender Hughes. Fisher trying desperately to keep the pressure on. Cleared by Hull. Duffy sees a chance to play it forward, but he's given it straight to Slater, and there's a counter-attack on if they get the pass right. Kovacevic is out nearly on the halfway line, the Norwich goalkeeper, and he slides in and he makes an important challenge. If he'd got that one wrong, Norwich would have been in trouble, but he didn't. He just about got enough on it against Kyle Joseph.
We make a comment early in the game because his position was very high when we're in the position half. Obviously that's why his position is quite high. He just stopped, covered Duffy's mistakes. First mistake is made.
Sweeper keeper Mattson played a pass out to the left without looking, and there wasn't anybody there. Schlupp hadn't made the run forward. Duffy played the ball forward, didn't he? Pass went astray, and Duffy was out of position, and they tried to hurry it up towards Carl Joseph, the striker, and Kovacevic, he was about 10 yards from the halfway line, and he slid in and he won the challenge, and thank goodness he did, because if he got that wrong, we'd now be talking about Hull scoring. I think
would have been in trouble. But again, Duffy made the mistake in terms of the passes. But for me, the reaction of McConville was not good enough. He was just stand still. Duffy is trying to play. He missed it. He should have covered very quickly and to cut the line to stop Hull City to break just behind. He just stands still. He was too static.
0-0 as we head now towards half-time. We'll find out how many minutes the fourth official is going to add in just a moment. As the ball... it's a free kick given Norwich's way there. Bit of a collision there between Harry Darling. 1 minute of time added on. So 1 minute. Norwich... I think the Norwich fans feel that the whole goalkeeper, Ivo Panda, the Croatian, has been taking quite a long time over his goal kicks, and maybe more than a minute could have been added, but that's all Norwich have got to finally get another goal in front of the Barclay. And they've done everything but score in this first half, haven't they, Cedric?
Exactly. We've been crossing balls in the box. We had a 1v1 with the keeper. We had Schwartz, who just, completely in front of the goal, just, not good executions. We should have been 2 or 3-0 up.
And McCarmer was having his shirt pulled there quite clearly as he went up for the header. Referee, though, didn't see anything wrong with it, and has allowed play to go on until Hull win a throw-in in their right-back position.
Nakama's work rate is outstanding. Just the way he reacts when he don't have the ball, he just reacts straight away.
Well, Norwich look a better side with him in there. It's just whether he can maintain it for 90 minutes. Right, that's half-time, and it's 0-0, and Norwich City still only have 1 goal in front of the Barclay so far this season. But today, it's not for the want of trying. We've talked about some really poor performances from Norwich this season, but that first half, really, there was a lot to be encouraged by, because Norwich did everything but score. Sargent missed a sitter. There were headers from set pieces from Duffy, one which brought a good save out of Panda. McConville should have done better, didn't really attack the ball with a goal at his mercy. We saw Schlupp clip the woodwork, and we saw Schwartau drag the shot wide. So, Cedric, is this one of those where we can be encouraged? The Norwich are going to go on to win from the bench?
Yeah, it's a decent bench, but I think we can talk about this on Canary Call after as the players run out. I just don't think it's that great a squad still, and that's the problem. And I think if we can avoid relegations this season, it will be good. And I know that sounds defeatist, but I just really don't think it's that good. It needs urgent work in January, and I think that the owner admitted that in midweek, and hopefully there will be a bit of money to spend.
OK, thank you very much. Now, Rob Butler, plenty more from him later on. Well, Chris Gorham, we're going to go back to him and Cedric Anselan for second half commentary. But Chris did point out earlier on, Norwich have been good, well, more often than not, in the first half of games this season. It's the second half where they really haven't been able to find that consistency. Is today the day? Second half commentary here on BBC Radio Norfolk.
Well, we were saying, weren't we, whether is it a fitness issue for Norwich City or is it a tactical concern? And at Derby, what we saw in the Derby game recently was that Norwich started well, were on top in the first half, and then John Eustace made a switch at half-time. Derby came out very differently and went on to win the game. Hull are making a change. They're bringing on an extra defender. They're going to match Norwich up, I think. They're taking off one of their midfielders in Amir Hazimetovic, and on is coming the experienced Semi Ajayi, the Nigerian international, who had a long spell with West Brom, led in the Championship for Rotherham as well. So this is a test now, isn't it, Cedric? Norwich have been on top, they've done well, they've done everything but score, and now we've got to see whether they can react to the change that Hull have made as we get underway in the second half. Norwich go long. We'll bring Cedric in on that in a moment. Duffy launching the ball forward, fouled by McCarmer. So what do you make of that then, Cedric, that change?
I think we need to carry on the way we've been in the first half, and we all agreed on in the gantry that what is missing is a goal, and I think that goal will probably lift even more the players in terms of the confidence, and I think it's just what is lacking.
0-0. Here's Ajayi. He's just come on. Plays the ball up towards halfway. Touch from Gelhardt, and they've given it away here, Hull, and Schwartau's gathered it high up the pitch, but good recovery, challenge from Crooks, and Hull have possession back. Ajayi plays it up towards the halfway line. Gelhardt shows for it, gets tackled by Schlupp, only just inside the Hull half. Clever little back heel to bring Kenny McLean into play. McLean now has the ball just over the halfway line, pushes it slightly to the left hand. Schlupp. Norwich are defending the Barclay end in this second half. 0-0. Norwich had a host of chances in the first half, but couldn't take them. Duffy now finds Fisher on the right-hand side. He tries to hurry it forward to McCarmer. It's been cut out, and Norwich have to sweep the ball up at the back. So Norwich still have the same team they started the game with. Kovacevic in goal, Darling, Duffy and McConville, 3 centre-backs. Fisher and Schlupp, the wing-backs. Matson and McLean in the centre of midfield, with McCarmer and Schwartau up behind Sargent. Hull defender Egan plays the ball long, as Kovacevic has got the sun in his eyes in this second half with the Barclay end behind him. Good header back from Darling. Hull now have Panda in goal. They've got Egan, Hughes and Ajayi at the back, with Coyle and Giles playing wide, Slater and Crooks in midfield. And then their front three is Ndala and Gelhardt and Joseph. Here is Crooks in the midfield. Big and strong, and holds off Matson and finds Coyle, the skipper, on the right-hand side. Gelhardt in front of him, on loan from Leeds. Gelhardt spots Crooks has made a good run in front of him, gets the cross in, and it's deflected behind. And Hull, in the second minute of the second half, have their first corner of the match.
Yeah, exactly. You know, obviously we didn't sort of starting very well. We allowed them to play through the lines and allow the forward to make their runs. And now they just obviously gain a corner. How are we going to manage the corner? Hopefully we're not conceding from the first corner.
Well, Joe Gelhardt goes over to take it with his left foot from the right-hand side. Everyone back for Norwich City. I know they can't afford to undo what good work there was in the first half and fall behind at the start of the second. 0-0. Gelhardt with the corner. He'll play it into the Norwich penalty area, near post, and well, I think the idea was that Egan was going to help it on at the near post, but he got too much on it and ended up putting it behind for a goal kick. So Norwich have seen that off. Norwich, with this run of no wins in their last 8, they've lost 5 out of 5, they've lost 6 of their last 7. No wonder the mood is low, no wonder there's not a lot of positivity amongst Norwich City supporters. Just scored 2 goals in their last 5 matches, Cedric. It's going to take a huge upturn, isn't it, in form and fortune to get themselves back up the table.
Usually, you know, you will have...
But here's Gelhardt, he's got goal side of Harry Darling. It's Gelhardt for Hull in the penalty area, and he tucks it away, and wouldn't you just know it? Having dominated in the first half, Norwich City concede 3 minutes into the second with a simple goal. A ball over the top of the Norwich defence. Gelhardt got onto it, just managed to stay a pace ahead of Harry Darling all the way. And as Kovacevic came out to meet him, Gelhardt squeezes it in, and it is Norwich City 0, Hull City 1.
Exactly, first strike on target and 1-0 down. What I would say is, obviously, if you look the kicking from Kovacic, is not a good kick. It's too high in the air. We don't react, and he just pick up the ball and just face Kovacic and slot it in.
And it's the same problem for Norwich City. Very good in the first half without scoring, and the tables have been turned right at the start of the second half. Hull with a tactical switch, putting Gelhardt there through the middle, and he got in behind Harry Darling, and he was just able to stay just a pace ahead of him all the way, wasn't he? But Norwich fans are trying to lift their team. Josh Sargent's whirling his arms around on halfway. I think the fans here are sensible enough to know Norwich don't deserve to be a goal down, but the fact is they are a goal down, and we've read this story before, Cedric. Norwich playing well in the first half and then switching off in the second. They've given it straight to Gelhardt, who tumbles over on the edge of the penalty area. I think he probably could have gone on there and would have had a great chance to score again.
Again, I will put the fault on Kovacic. That pass is so sloppy and so bad towards Darling. The ball is not coming at pace at all and allowed Hull to just press quickly. Just that pass is really bad.
Norwich
Terrible
City,
pass.
Hull 1. And Kovacevic is shaking his head, and I think that's the general mood around Carrow Road at the moment. Norwich have lost all their home games this season, and now Matson's just walloped one out of play. And the mood's turned, isn't it, Cedric? And the fragile confidence of these players now is going to be tested.
Yeah, completely. But again, I think, you know, I'm not here to blame, but Kovacic kicking from the start of second half has not been good enough. That pass to Darling is not good enough. It's just too sloppy. And I think Duffy had a word with Kovacic as well and just shouting in his ears, which is absolutely right.
Heads the ball forward. Coyle plays it now for Hull, who will know that Norwich have been brittle this season. And here's Fisher. Norwich are 1-0 down at home. They did everything but score in the first half. And here's Duffy now, and Darling. A little bit hesitant now, Norwich City, deep inside their own half, and Darling's been outmuscled by Gelhardt, and Gelhardt gives it to Coyle, and suddenly the old tentative Norwich has returned. Here's Regan Slater through the middle for Hull. Good challenge from Matson, that's what it needs. Now Schwartau, can he take the running on for Norwich City? Gives it to Sargent in the centre circle. Norwich have got players forward in this attack. Sargent on towards McCarmer on the edge of the penalty area, but it's been cut out. Sargent, though, recovers possession. Halfway inside the Hull half, he's being dragged this way and that by Hughes. Plays the pass, and eventually the referee gives Norwich a free kick.
Yeah, completely a free kick. But now again in transition, we slightly need to be a bit better. McCann, you know, trying to play a 1-2 with Sargent. The ball has just been playing sloppily. We just need to be a bit better in the final third. And that's obviously the reason why when we're not down, we're not clinical enough in the box, and the build-up sometimes is sloppy.
Well, Sargent missed a sitter in the first half. Schlupp hit the woodwork. Schwartau went close. McConville missed a good opportunity as well. Duffy had a header save from a corner. None of them went in, and Norwich are now a goal behind. But they have a free kick here, halfway inside Hull territory. Kellen Fisher will play it high into the penalty area. Ajay, the defender, has miscued it, and McConville couldn't quite capitalise in the 6-yard box, and it's been put behind for a Norwich corner.
Again, they make a mistake in their own box, but we're not sort of like there in a great position to take advantage of that.
Yeah, even McConville just sort of dangled a leg at it, didn't he? He didn't attack that ball with any conviction.
Completely. We're not there. We're not clinical enough. We're not aggressive enough. It's a great ball in the box. Making mistakes. We're 5 yards behind.
Norwich were a threat from set pieces before half-time. They need to be now, as McLean bends the corner in. Oh, it's headed away by Hughes. Schlupp needs to get there for Norwich City against Ndala, and Schlupp goes down, and the free kick is given to Norwich City, still deep inside Hull territory. Liam Manning's on the pitch, retrieving the ball there because he wants Norwich to get on with this free kick. It's easier said than done, Cedric, but they've almost got to forget they're a goal down, Norwich, and play like they did in the first half, because that's the only way they're going to get back into it, isn't it?
We said, and I think you've been in the country more long than me this season. It's just second half, we're just not up to the start all the times, and we got mountain to claim when we 1-0 down.
Fisher curls the free kick in. McConville! Oh, he missed it.
Wide duck.
6 yards out, attacking the ball, and it went over his head. And I don't know whether it was slightly too high, but he looked the favourite to get there.
Yeah.
And now Duffy's down injured.
He engaged in the space very well. He just don't seem to want to make a contact with the ball. What's happened to Duffy?
Duffy colliding with somebody as he ran in that pack of players there. Bit of a knock to the face, perhaps. He's okay. He's up on his feet. Norwich City 0, Hull City 1. Carrow Road, a mood of... Well, disbelief isn't the right word, because we've seen this before, and I think there was a real concern at half-time. The first half, Norwich did play well. You can't put it any other way, but they didn't score. And when you don't score, when you don't take your chances, this can happen. And now they find themselves a goal down early in the second half. Schlupp battling with the goal scorer Gelhardt. Hull have it though with Coyle. Back to Gelhardt on the right-hand side. Good tackle from McLean. Throw into Hull in their sky blue strip on this right-hand side.
Again, it's not them outplayed us, it's us a mistake that we just made. We don't react in terms of the second ball and just break in terms of...
Nakama twists and turns on halfway, then loses it to Gelhardt. And it's back with Egan for Hull, onto Crooks, tall central midfielder. Heavy touch from him, McLean takes the ball off him and plays it forward. Panda, the goalkeeper, is going to come and sweep up though, and clear long for Hull. Harry Darling doesn't get under it. Here's Gelhardt, the Hull goal scorer again. Hull in good form, remember, coming into this one. And he's got Coyle alongside him. Gelhardt again to the right-hand side. Crooks is going to try and allow this one to go out for a Hull throw, level with the Norwich penalty area. And it's taken quickly by Coyle, and Schlupp switched off. And Crooks has got the chance to drive the cross in, but he's put it behind the goal. No defeats in 5 for Hull, coming into this one, whereas Norwich have lost all their last 5 games. So now that Hull have got the lead, we're really going to see how big a factor confidence is in football, aren't we?
His confidence is also character. You will see some of the players stepping in and show a real desire and character to put everything right, and you will have some players who just disappear. We need to have 10 plus, obviously, Kovacic in goal to step in the plate now and trying to bring the intensity and the way we play in the first half.
Kovacic kicks it long from the goal kick. Karma wins the header, but Hull will clear towards the right-hand side, and Coyle bounces away from him. He's managed to just about steer the ball into Norwich territory. Harry Darling will get it for Norwich. Swansea man. You
also said that they conceded 20 goals so far this season. We should have been 2 or 3-0 up at half-time. Should be a bit more clinical and on the front foot in the final third. We need to test them a little bit better.
McConville battles, wins the ball, and then gives it straight back to Hull. Matsson's covering behind him, and has to be. He's under pressure from Ndala, who sends him spinning to the floor, and Norwich get the free kick deep inside their own half. The ground's gone flat, the mood's gone flat. You can understand it, can't you? Norwich fans need something to...
It's a frustration just start to install. Just in a bit like, we under the cosh, we just fall 1-0 down. We don't deserve it, but unfortunately it's the way we are at the moment. We just need to be showing something more character.
McLean's lost possession. It was a poor pass to him. Crooks comes forward. Gelhardt in the penalty area for Hull, looking for his second goal. Good block from Harry Darling, and behind it goes. McLean was caught in possession there, but that wasn't just his fault. It was a poor pass to him.
Again, it's a pass that don't need to be played. They are pressing, they're on the front foot, they're engaging in the pressing. They allowed us to make mistakes, or trying to make us making a mistake, and then the first goal come from that. And just look again the replay. It's exactly the same. Mattson trying to play the ball square to McLean and
corner.
give the ball away.
Taken short to Giles. Most assists in the Championship this season, Giles, and he's bent this one in dangerously, and that's come off a Norwich head and gone behind. It won't be a corner though. The flag's up for offside, but you can see there Ryan Giles, such a good player, played in the Premier League for Luton, and it's a real wicked cross that he whipped in there. Norwich grateful there was an offside. 1-0 to Hull. The old tentative Norwich returning in this second half though, after a much more impressive first half. Here's McLean, deep inside his own half. Remember, Hull have got the second worst defensive record in the Championship this season. Norwich have got to hope that tells in this second half. They need something to get themselves back into it. Can Makama provide the spark? Oh, he nearly got past Hughes, but Hughes was just able to stretch a foot out, and the ball goes out for a throw into Norwich, just as Makama looked like he might get in round the side.
I would say it's more a free kick than a throwing for Norwich there, you know. I'm not obviously questioning the referee's decisions, but from where obviously we stand,
might be a long throw here, Cedric.
Yeah.
McConville standing, just watching Duffy and Darling both go forward, and Rory McConville, playing in the Championship for the first time this season, is winding up to try and get some distance on the throw. He hasn't really got a short option, so this is going to have to go into the penalty area. He's level with the Hull box, loops it in towards the near post. It's headed away quite easily there, and that was interesting. The Hull player Joseph went down, and the referee waved to tell him to get up, and then decided actually it should be a free kick. Must have had a word in his ear from the assistant referee on that far side.
To be honest, even from where I saw it was a foul.
Yeah, it looked a foul. And Carl Joseph, the striker, who did play under Liam Manning at Oxford earlier on in his career, is not getting up here. Just trying to get any momentum out of the game. You can't have cramp, surely.
Yeah, I think to the point. To the point for Hull City, they're going to try to calm down second half, stop the momentum of Norwich the last 5 minutes.
And there's no sign of any medical attention with
just
Joseph.
a push.
He's still down. And the goalkeeper's got the ball in his hands. He's not going to get on with it until Joseph's up on his feet. Joseph is taking a long time to get himself prepared. The referee's standing over him. All very unsatisfactory. Yeah, boots are off. And the "we want Napa out" chants have returned for the first time this afternoon inside the ground. And this is what scorelines and results will do to you.
Yeah. Well, obviously the fans are entitled to what they believe.
He's still down, Joseph. This is absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? How long does it take?
It's just a push, and he's just limping.
It must have taken it feels like a minute and a half since he went down. These fans need something. They need to be given some encouragement. Good header forward from Schlupp. Sargent shows for it, but no. Hughes is able to get it back to goalkeeper Panda. Norwich, the first 15 minutes of this second half haven't threatened. Haven't created a host of chances in the first half and not taken them. They're a goal down. Sack the board is now the chant from a section at Carrow Road. Norwich have a free kick deep inside their own half. You can get your calls in after the game for Canary Call, with you until 3 o'clock when we cross to Southport for coverage of Kings Lynn under Ian Culverhouse again today in National North. Full commentary from there. And the Canaries, you'll be able to watch Canary Call with Cedric and Rob Butler online. And a ball played forward here for Makama to chase, but again Hughes just gets there first, gets it back to his goalkeeper. Panda, the keeper, clears it up towards halfway. Schlupp puts his foot in to try and get it back off Slater, and he's done well, and he's found McLean. Now Matson in a central position. Matson just delayed the pass slightly, but Fisher still makes something of it. He's dragged back, referee plays advantage. Sargent in the area, can he make room for the shot? He's going to be crowded out. Tees up Makama instead, wide to the right of goal. Is it going to open up for Matson? His shot is blocked, and it's scrambled away. McLean, 25 yards out, central position, trying to get the pressure back on. It's Schlupp on the corner of the penalty area. Short option to Schwartau, tries to return it to Schlupp. Hull have cleared, throw in.
Again, you know, good momentum, good play from Norwich, trying to bring some intensity into the box. It's just like we didn't manage to get a shot on target.
Yeah, it just would not open for Josh Sargent. 8 games without a goal before today. Norwich need their striker to start finding the net again. They need someone to create something. They need a spark. Still half an hour plus left in this game. Norwich 1-0 down at home. Throw in, left-hand side, level with the Hull penalty area. Schlupp spots McLean in space, gives it to him. Opportunity for him to put it into the penalty area. Curling delivery, goalkeeper comes and takes it easily. It's just a high hanging ball that was easy for the keeper to come and get.
Difficult them crossing when the ball just lasts too long in the air. You just can't really attack it. You can make the run, but the ball just lasts too long in the air and just easy to collect from the keeper.
And the keeper Panda thumps it long. Schlupp tries to control, but it escapes him and ends up going out of play for a Norwich throw in their left-back position. Norwich attacking options on the bench. There's Jurasek, there's Marcondes. Forsen back on the bench for the first time this season. Jacob Wright as well. Fiskaren I've not mentioned. Player I'm sure Norwich will want to get on at some point in this game as he continues his route back to fitness. And Norwich are behind. I think Duffy left that one. Don't worry, Cedric.
I thought he had the sun in his eyes.
Yeah, it's all right. Went through to the goalkeeper. I think he got the shout, but he did sort of worryingly duck under the ball, didn't he? Fisher for Norwich wins a throw-in over on the far side there, right.
Just matching second half, Hull City, just matching the structure and the 3-4-2-1 that Norwich are playing.
Played forward by Fisher. Was caught late there, but Norwich have got possession with McLean now on halfway. Can McLean skate forward and provide some inspiration? He's given it to Sargent, laid off to McCarmer. McLean's continued his run. Can McCarmer get it to him? Not quite. Hughes slides it out of play for a Norwich throw. He's just beginning to come into it a bit more now.
He played the ball between McLean and Fisher. Just played the ball wider and can get a ball in the box.
McLean, right hand side, manages to bend the cross in. Oh, it's beyond Sargent, and it's going to be behind for a goal kick. And McLean hasn't scored a league goal at Carrow Road since March 2021. Kenny McLean, and he was bursting forward there. He never got himself into a shooting position.
But that is the thing, is we obviously count on Sargent to score goals. Obviously, that is his position as a striker, but I think the goals need to come up from different positions, attacking positions as well.
Well, 3 of Norwich's last 4 goals have come from Jovan McCarmer, the other from Schwartau at Ipswich, but
like you said,
it's only 2 in the last 5 matches before today.
Exactly, like you mentioned in the first half, Schwartau, 54 games for Norwich, only scored 2 goals. You know, we need to fire a bit more in terms of attacking.
Well, there is a sub incoming, I think. Just seen, pretty sure that's Fiskaren. Go back to the bench and get some instructions. So I wonder whether he might be sent for very shortly by Liam Manning, who is yet to see his team do anything but lose at Carrow Road, and here we are in November. It's been a dreadful start to the season for Norwich City as Duffy plays the ball forward. It's not even a start to the season now, we're into November. Maatsen seizes possession, finds McCarmer on the right hand side. Fisher's well forward, can't control. Sargent plays the ball back to McLean in the midfield. Every Hull player back behind the ball, protecting this 1-goal lead that they've got. 25 minutes left, plus the stoppage time. Norwich probing now with Kenny McLean up towards Sargent, who's gone down on the edge of the box, and the referee's happy with it. Hull will try and break. McLean gets the foot in, and Norwich win it back. He's still down, Sargent. Norwich are trying to build an attack here with their main striker on the floor, and now the referee stops it. Was he caught there? Could that have been a free kick?
I don't know. Trying to look at the replay. He's obviously a tackle from behind. He can, he's showing the back of his left Achilles. Just looking at, he's just clumsy from behind.
And John Egan coming in there behind Sargent. He's seen free kicks given for that, but he's up on his feet, he's okay, no treatment needed, and the game will continue with a drop ball because Norwich are in possession when the referee stopped it. Hull, though, they're happy, understandably, they've got the lead, they're sitting back and protecting it, aren't they? That's allowing Norwich the chance to...
Completely, they had what they wanted, the goal just obviously unlocked everything and put a bit more pressure on the Norwich City players. Bring the atmosphere of, obviously the fans.
McCarmer digs out the ball on halfway there. Initially gave it away, but recovered well. And now he's not letting Joseph get to his feet. They're still locked together on the floor, and they both go down again as soon as they get up. Sargent, they're still locked together. To Darling. Now McLean over the halfway line. McLean to Maatsen, who tries to tee up McCarmer. Shifts it to Schwartau. Good football. Sargent back to Schwartau, who puts the shot straight at the keeper. Lovely move. One-touch passing. Sargent into the path of Schwartau, who had to take it first time, and he kept it low, but this time it was too close to the keeper.
Great football, great pattern of passing, one-touch triangle, just great movement. Just the ball came to Schwartau's left foot, played first time, not enough to make the keeper sort of, making a great save. He's just too close to the keeper.
Well, you see him, when you see Norwich player move like that, you just think, hello, maybe they're not without hope. Of course, they're too few and far between in this second half.
Of course, you can see obviously the confidence is just sort of creeping. We haven't won at home.
Crooks for Hull.
And you got a glimpse like that when the passing is nice and crisp, the good movement.
And then at the other end, Harry Darling has to defend, clears the ball long, up high in the air. McCarmer jumps and commits a foul. Free kick to Hull on halfway. 1-0 to Hull. Canary call after the game. You can get in touch with Cedric and Rob Butler. bbc.co.uk/Norfolk. Watch along.
we have talked about, you know, the level of consistency quite a lot and often. You know, we can see glimpses like that and beautiful passes and beautiful play and handing by a strike, but not enough to make the keeper sort of making a great save. It's too close on him.
Offside there against one of the Hull players as they went long. So Norwich will have a free kick.
That's the thing is if you look the way we passes the ball in that sort of that strike from Schwarto, it was intense, it was a purpose, and it was quick.
Darling for Norwich City on halfway. 1-0 Hull lead. Duffy shielding his eyes from the sun as he brings it into the shadows on halfway. Laid off nicely again by Sargent. McCarmer can't quite get it out to Fisher on the far side, and it will be a throw into Hull.
You know, you make a very good point in the first half, Chris, in terms of McCarmer on the right-hand side with Fisher. You know, his level of desire in the first half and fitness was very up there. And second half, you could see that he's getting a bit tired, and his touch is not nice and crisp. His passes is not there.
Sargent plays it forward, cut out by Hughes, the defender, who gives it to his goalkeeper Panda. Not the best of kicks away from him, and McLean senses a chance, heads it forward quickly. Sargent chests it down on the edge of the penalty area. Comes through a crowd of players, Josh Sargent. Now Hull have got players back. Manages to find Schlupp. Here's Kenny McLean 30 yards from goal. McLean through the middle to Schwartau, who just can't make it stick, but it's come back to Kenny McLean. Towards the left corner of the penalty area now. Schlupp outside him. Schlupp returns it to McLean in the penalty area. Across the face of goal. It's come off a defender. Oh, McCarmer's gone down in the 6-yard box. Was it a foul? Not according to the officials. Norwich still attacking. Maatsen, right-hand side. Puts the ball into the danger zone. Keeper comes and doesn't get there. Collides with his own defender. McLean now on the left-hand side. Norwich trying to build them ahead of steam. The cross is blocked. And it goes away for a throw-in to Norwich City.
Great play from on the left-hand side with Schlupp and McLean. They find themselves very well. The ball just landing in front of McLean in the box. Great crossing. You could see that it could have been a penalty.
Yeah, I don't know. There weren't many appeals from the players.
I'm just looking at the replay now. It looked like a penalty. Just sort of his arms was all over McCarmer.
McCarmer going down in the... No, I don't know. The players didn't appeal. We've got a long throw coming up. Harry Darling for Norwich City. 2 subs getting ready for the Canaries. But we're going to see a long throw-in from Harry Darling. Everybody back for Hull as Norwich push for an equaliser. Still got more than 20 minutes to play. Can Norwich get themselves level? Darling is now going to launch the throw-in into the penalty area. It's come off a Hull head first and falls for Ndala, whose clearance is straight out of play for another Norwich throw. Darling getting ready to try and get this one into the penalty area. Puts the ball up his shirt, and as he takes a step back, he falls over one of the photographers and nearly ends up in one of those pits they have dug round to the side of the pitch.
You don't want any more injuries.
No, here he comes, Darling. Bends his back, gets the throw into the penalty area. Duffy helps it on. Edge of the penalty area. Kellen Fisher hits the shot. No great conviction about it, and it's been blocked and cleared away. He's never scored for Norwich, Kellen Fisher. Not necessarily the man you would want it to drop to in that position. 2 Norwich changes are coming. Is it Chris Scarron and Topic, I think, by the looks of things over there. Here's McLean for Norwich City. McLean up towards halfway. And to McConville, who's made his first championship appearance of the season today. Maatsen. Back to Shane Duffy. Every Hull player back, still protecting this 1-goal advantage that they've got. McConville on the right-hand side. Plays it into the penalty area. To the feet of McCarmer. To the right of goal. I didn't really have too many options on there. He managed to dig out a shot, but it was never threatening. And it's still 1-0 to Hull, and here come the 2 changes, I think.
Yeah, just very interesting who is going to take him.
Maatsen is being replaced by Topic, so that will be a straight change in the middle of the Norwich midfield.
And Schwartau.
And Schwartau is expected to come off. He's jogging over there. And on will come Matthias Kvistgården, who's making his way back from injury. So I don't think we're going to see a dramatic change in the way Norwich are playing in terms of the system, are we here, Cedric, for the last 20 minutes? No, 2 straight swaps.
It's a straight swaps, yeah, you're absolutely right. Just need to be a bit more on the front foot, a bit more creativity. You know, we just saw a glimpse like early second half in terms of the passes, and Schwartau have a strike. Just a bit more convincing.
And a change made by Hull as well. They've taken off Ndala, the winger on loan from Manchester City. He's been playing on the left-hand side, and on has come another former Manchester City youngster, Darko JB, who He's been with Plymouth the last couple of seasons, and here he is straight away, heading the ball forward to Gelhardt, who's going to take the shot on early, but it's way off target. JB was a youngster with Manchester City, and he moved to Leeds in the deal that took Calvin Phillips the other way. Hasn't really made much of an impression at Leeds, though. He spent much of his time out on loan. He's come on to try and help Hull see out a win here, because they are leading at Carrow Road by 1-0, and we've only got 19 minutes to play. Chris Gorin is going to come on and play just off Sargent, where Schwartau was playing, and Topic has indeed dropped into the midfield alongside McLean. Canary Call coming up at full time with Cedric and with Rob Butler. Duffy clears the ball away, throw in to Hull on the far side there left. I suppose there comes a point, if you're chasing a game at home, where you've got to look at, do you need 3 centre-backs on the pitch? But it's the way that Liam Manning has been wanting Norwich to play.
Well, yeah, obviously the first half in terms of the structure was...
Topic has done well to win the ball deep inside his own half and play it up towards Sargent. Let Cedric finish that point in a moment. But Sargent's got the opportunity to try and release Chris Gorin here, who turns and then releases shot. Oh, Chris Gorin's been bundled to the floor and he's gone down off the ball. Play continues. McLean on the edge of the penalty area, runs straight into his man, and Hull should clear. That was a really nasty late challenge on Chris Gorin, who's still feeling the small of his back. He was absolutely cleaned out there. Now Hull go long. Duffy's got to really push back here against Joseph. Oh, and has Duffy done enough? I don't think he has. Joseph's going to get it in the penalty area for Hull. Goalkeeper Kovacevic makes the save, and he had to. Joseph just had too much for Duffy there, and they were the only ones back, weren't they?
Yeah, just second mistake from Duffy, trying to play the ball back to Kovacic.
Yeah. Here's McLean. 1-0 to Hull.
The thing you will probably argue as well to Kovacic probably going forward.
Now Fisher finds Topic. Topic steers it into the penalty area, blocked. Chris Gorin recycles the possession. Schlupp, left edge of the penalty area, curls the cross in. McCarver around the far post, just under pressure, couldn't get enough of a touch on it, and behind it goes. And now a yellow card is going to be shown to Matt Crooks for that really late slamming challenge onto Mateus Chris Gorin a minute ago. Yellow card for Crooks.
A great ball from Schlupp from the left-hand side. Just couldn't make enough contact, Makama, but to be fair, Hull City defending very well.
It looks like he's blowing a bit now, McCarver.
Yeah, it's just like his level of fitness second half has dropped. You could see in terms of his touches.
But they need him out there, Norwich. They need as many attacking players out there as possible, because they're running out of time now. They're looking at an unbelievable 7th straight home defeat at the start of this season. It's incredible.
It's incredible, especially, you know, our home, whereas in the past few years, our home has just been a fortress, I would say, and this year is completely the opposite. Can't see myself going home.
Norwich have only won 4 of their last 24 championship matches, going back to March. And played better today, certainly in the first half, but nothing to show for it. 1-0 down. Chris Gorin again held off by Crooks. Hull getting it forward towards Joseph. Chris Ferron gets the foot in. That might spark something for Norwich. Makama holds it up nicely. Needs an option. Oh, tries to play it through to Sargent. But Hughes, the defender, just intercepts. That pass, for that pass to come off, it was going to have to be absolutely perfect, wasn't it?
I think he played the pass too close to the Hull City defender. He could have played the ball on the other side of Sargent towards the corner flag where he was making his run.
Ajay gets it back to Panda, the goalkeeper, who passes it out to Egan. And the defender Egan from deep plays it up over to the left-hand side, and the fullback Giles.
You need to step up 1 yard forward.
Gives it to Panda, yeah. Easy for the Hull goalkeeper just to keep the ball in the D, and then with the right foot aim it towards the halfway line. Headed on by Gelhardt. Now to play for a Norwich throw. Norwich need a goal. The place is quiet. You wouldn't. It doesn't feel like a team knocking on the door for that equaliser of that real.
No,
pressure cooker.
In my opinion, you feel like our chances have just gone, and I hope not, but it's how he felt. You know, we had plenty of chances to win that game, and we are falling 1-0 down.
Yeah. Kovacevic coming out to the edge of his penalty area to collect the ball just in the nick of time there, because Carl Joseph fancied it. And Duffy had allowed... Kovacevic drops the ball at his feet and very nearly gets tackled by Joseph.
Wow.
He gets away with it though, Kovacevic. He threw the ball out of the penalty area so that he could then run onto it himself, and nearly threw it straight to the Hull man.
I know.
Norwich cannot afford many more moments like that. They need to get back into the game here. Now McCarm has been taken down off the ball by Hughes. Referee spotted it. He was looking straight at it. He's calling both players over. Norwich are getting another sub ready over on that far side, I think. Two more subs ready.
You throw the ball too far in front of him and you get closed down.
Well,
in all fairness, he make a great save, you know, in the second half. But sometimes you question a little bit of him, the way he's a bit.
Cedric, I think we're going to have a bit of a bold change here from Liam Manning. Forson's getting ready. And I think Errol Mundle-Smith might be getting ready to come on as well. There's certainly two players getting stripped over there. The youngster who's yet to make his first team debut. Kovacevic, the goalkeeper, clears long. Quistgaard knocks the ball over. Ajaib can't get to the second one though. Cleared forward by Coyle. 1-0 to Hull.
I think Liam Manning is trying anything and everything he can do.
Well, yeah, it needs it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
McLean lays it off to Topic. Topic to Quistgaard on halfway. Quistgaard closed down by Ajaib. Comes back to Schlupp. Back to Harry Darling once more. Schlupp still inside his own half here. Norwich need to try and find a way to unlock this Hull team, and they're not going to do it like that. Darling's been caught in possession. Joseph finds Crooks in the penalty area. It's Crooks who lays it off here for Gelhardt. Challenge comes in. It's cleared away by Norwich. Hull want a penalty. It's not going to be given.
No, but again, we're overplaying our own half.
Kyle Joseph for his protest there.
Again, he's overplaying our own half. We're not set up. We're trying to play. We give the ball away, and they break again.
Well, the concern here, Cedric, is that Norwich are 1-0 down at home. They're desperate. They need a goal. It's desperate. And actually, the last 5 minutes, it's looked more likely Hull are going to score next because Norwich are defending so nervously.
Yeah. Again, is mistakes that it shouldn't be happening.
And now Coyle crosses for Hull from the right-hand side. It goes right through the penalty area. Slater now 25 yards out collects. Gives it to Ryan Giles. Giles lays it off. And Hull have pushed the ball back to the halfway line now. And all the way back to their goalkeeper. Two Norwich subs waiting to come on. It's going to be hit high and forward by Panda, the goalkeeper. A tester for Harry Darling, who was caught in possession a moment ago. He's done well with the header this time to find Schlupp. Schlupp tackled by Crooks. Norwich will get a throw. And that might herald the double change. We've only got 12 minutes to play and Norwich are 1-0 down. Fisher is being replaced by Errol Mundle-Smith. This is some moment for the 19-year-old. He comes on with his team in a desperate situation. And 11 minutes to go. And the other change, we're going to see Makama, who has looked worn out for a little while now. He's going to be replaced by a man called Forson. He's been out injured since the opening day of the season. Forson, he got 2 goals, remember, as a sub against Coventry last season, both in stoppage time. We're at a point where we need something like that.
Well, exactly. I think he's that kind of a player, just in terms of his creativity and his technique.
Here he is, Forson. He's won a free kick on halfway already.
He can unlock a defence with just his passes.
What I'd say about Makama, he puts himself about. I think Sargent looks more comfortable, looks better when Makama's on the pitch as well, but it's all very well saying that. It's not created a goal today.
I think any players in terms of distance around Sargent to feed him when we're actually on the front foot and trying to bring the ball forward. I think it's what Sargent needs. He needs to have players around him to feed him. And I think Makama is giving that as well.
McLean hits the free kick from deep. Duffy attacks it, headed across goal, chance for Sargent in the 6-yard box. Oh, he's gone down, couldn't get there. And the flag was up, offside anyway. He was in the 6-yard box and he had his back to goal. The ball was slightly behind him and he went down under pressure from a Hull defender. Couldn't quite turn, but there was an offside anyway, I think, against him as the ball was played in.
It's a great ball from McLean.
Yeah.
Opposite ball. Good attacking from Duffy. Just bring the ball back into the box. And I can't believe Sargent was offside from the replay. It doesn't really look much offside.
I don't think Duffy was for the first ball.
No,
that's what it's been given for. But this is desperate now for Liam Manning and for Norwich City. 1-0 down. They're behind at home again. They're looking at a 6th straight defeat and a 7th straight home defeat. That is relegation form. There's no escaping it. Header on for Hull to chase though at the other end. Harry Darling gets it back to goalkeeper Kovacevic, who plays it out. Helped on by Topic. Gathered though by Hull, who know a second goal now would surely wrap it up. Coyle on the right-hand side, coming forward. He's got Joseph in front of him. Joseph's managed to dig out a cross as well. Important header from Duffy in the penalty area. Mundle-Smith now, his first touch for Norwich City, is to try and take on Giles and lose to him. And Giles on the left-hand side crosses back into the Norwich penalty area and it's going to land on the top of the goal. So Mundle-Smith is an attacking player, but he's on as right wing-back here, isn't he? I think Norwich just need to get as many players forward as possible, don't they? They've got to find a way of getting an equaliser, and they haven't looked like it in the second half. They did in the first. They were much the better side in the first half. If you weren't with us, they spurned chance after chance after chance, and as is so often the case, They've been made to pay for it. Darling hits it long and deep. Mundell-Smith shows for it, but commits a foul there. Royal Mundell-Smith didn't get to the ball and then just made sure he left something on the Hull City player Egan, who heads it away.
It's why the youth players are giving you the enthusiasm.
Yeah. Well, you can hear the atmosphere. This isn't a ground that believes Norwich are going to get back into it, is it? You can tell.
No, it's just the atmosphere has dropped. The noise has dropped a little bit as well. You could see some fans starting to make their way home. Just need to have a bit of that belief and you know, managing a way to score. I think it's just what is missing.
Free kick to Hull, which of course they'll take time over. They lead 1-0. As the sun really drops down now and is almost in the eyes of Kovacevic at that end of the pitch. It's a long free kick that goes behind. Goal kick to Norwich. Sometimes when a team needs a goal at home in the last 8 minutes of a game, you really get a surge in the atmosphere, don't you? You get a roar, you get it lifting, but there's nothing for Norwich fans to believe in, is there, this season? Nobody quite believes Norwich are going to get back into it.
I think what the fan is demanding is to play the ball a bit more forward quickly.
Kovacevic plays it long. Sargent jumps and heads it on. Chris Goran was sort of jumping with him, so there wasn't a runner on in front of Sargent. Cleared forward now by Hull. It's dropped in behind Harry Darling, and Joseph has got there for Hull. Right edge of the penalty area. Two players up in support. One of those is Gelhardt, but Schlupp has managed to intercept, and the ball goes behind for a Hull corner. Norwich can't even make the ball stick in Hull territory at the moment. They've got no basis from which to build the pressure, have they? Here comes a double Hull change.
It's just a vertical ball just behind Darling. No one is covering him. Everyone stands static. And you got Schlupp just coming to recover. And you got Kovacic just standing by his post. Not even actually going forward to trying to stop the ball going for a corner. It's just like reactions. We don't react.
Double change made by Hull. Cody Drummond is coming on for Joe Gelhardt. And they are also bringing on Enis Destan, a Turkish player, to replace Carl Joseph, who's been a real thorn in Norwich's side in this second half. Joseph and Gelhardt, the two players who are coming off, have done well. Whenever Hull have got the ball forward, they've been alert, they've caused problems.
Yeah, they have caused a lot of problems defensively in terms of us attacking it. They're very well structured. Just in terms of going forward, they're not really offer much, apart obviously the 10 minutes in the second half when we just conceded the goal.
Corner for Hull. Giles bends it in towards the near post. It's helped on and cleared by Chris Goran, who's going to have to chase it out of the penalty area himself. And it goes out for a throw into Hull, left-hand side, deep in Norwich territory. 6 minutes to play. Hull have the game where they want it. They have the lead. And they're taking a long time over even having anybody available to take the throw in.
I think you just go across, you just take the corners, just go across for a throwing, just taking their time. 1-0 up.
Giles takes it. Mundell-Smith battling for Norwich. It's fallen for Forson, who finds Mundell-Smith still deep inside his own half and gives the ball away. But then battles hard with Forson to try and win it back. But Hull have got it. Stroked infield effortlessly by Crooks. So Adjai lets that run under his foot. The former West Brom man now does pick it up. Takes it past Chris Goran. Clever touch on there by the substitute Dramé and crossed in by Adjai. Headed out by McConville. It's in the Norwich box. Schlupp chops it away. Norwich can't get decent possession of the ball at the moment. Here's Coyle on the right-hand side for Hull, who are looking for a second goal. Great ball into the channel on the right for Crooks, who will just get there by the byline as well. Teed up for Dramé, who's just come on. Knocks it on to Coyle from the right-hand side, flashes it across goal, it's blocked and it's gone behind, and it's going to be a corner. Hull are saying that was a hand that blocked it and they could have a penalty, but the corner's been given, and the assistant referee was right in front of that as it came across.
No, it's no penalty, you just hit the shoulder.
Yeah, but from a Norwich point of view, the action is all at the Barclay end. Hull are attacking, 5 minutes to go, and they lead 1-0. We're not seeing anything like a stirring fight back from Norwich.
No, especially the last 5-10 minutes, you know, we just defensively we're all over the place. We don't seem to trying to win the ball quickly and trying to work in transitions.
Giles takes the corner towards the far post. It goes beyond everybody in behind. Goal kick. Norwich have got to get this at the other end of the pitch. They've somehow got to find a way now of making the ball stay at the other end of the field, or they're going to continue their 100% losing record at home under Liam Manning. Here's McLean. Finds Harry Darling deep inside his own half, and again Norwich don't even get up to the halfway line before they lose possession. Throw in. At some point they've got to change the approach here, Norwich. Throw in from Darling. He's found Sargent on halfway. Now this is where Norwich want it, but then Sargent's given the ball away to Ryan Giles. Giles coming forward.
He won the ball back.
Sargent's gone over there to the right-hand side. He's done well, shoulder to shoulder with JB to win a throw-in. He trying to make up for the error that he made by giving the ball away.
Again, is a ball just been played wide between.
We want Napa out again, is the chant from the Norwich crowd. It's getting louder as we get deeper into the game. And here come Hull again, edge of the penalty area. It's with Drame in the box, plays it across, great chance for JB. It's a brilliant save from the goalkeeper first time, but not the second. Hull have a second. It's JB who scored off the bench, and Norwich City are looking at yet another home defeat. The Carrow Road crisis deepens. It's Norwich City 0, Hull 2, and JB has come off the bench to put Hull 2-0 up at the second attempt.
To be fair, that the second goal was coming up for the past 5-10 minutes. Defensively, all over the place, very poor. We couldn't progress the ball when we had the ball. Allowed Hull to just step in terms of engaging in the pressing. I'm just looking, bodies, faces. Is no reaction, is nothing there. It's just Macklin can't believe it. And another defeat for Norwich City at home.
Well, it's now the players who are copying it from the stands. You're not fit to wear the shirt, is the chant from the crowd. Well, this place is going to be a real melting pot at full time, Cedric, because Norwich are losing again. They are going to be anchored in the bottom three, and the "we want Napa out" chants are growing louder and louder. Earlier in the half it was just one section of the ground. Now more and more fans are joining in with it, because there's a feeling of disbelief here. Norwich losing again. It'll be a 6th straight defeat. It'll be 7 defeats in a row at Carrow Road.
It's unthinkable.
There's just nothing for supporters to believe in at the moment, is there? First half was better. Norwich did everything but score, and we wonder whether they might pay for it, and that is exactly what's happened. Sargent heads the ball on. Sack the board is now the chant. The protests are going to grow, and you can understand it, because Norwich City fans were sold a dream in the summer of a club that was pushing for the playoffs, that had top 6 ambitions. They're in the bottom 3, Cedric, and they're not looking like a team capable of getting out of it.
No, completely. It's like, when you're in that situation, you're looking around who's going to step up and have the character to fight for the shirt, like just the Norwich fan are singing, no fit to wear the shirt. We spend a lot of money in the summer on players, on numbers, and we're questioning the ability of the players to step up and trying to get us in that situation, in that chaotic situation we've been on, especially at home as well. You just mentioned 7 games without a victory is unthinkable.
And now Liam Manning is getting the abuse from the stands, the frustration. Norwich City are in all sorts of bother here. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Manning have changed numerous system and structure.
Boomed long by Duffy. Well, Wendell Smith has got away on the right-hand side here for Norwich. The youngster, he's in the penalty area. He's trying to make some room. He's been tackled in the end. It's broken for Chris Scoren on the edge of the box. His shot straight at the goalkeeper.
Again, a glimpse of something from a youth player from Norwich City on the right-hand side. Managed to get something there. They're trying to clear out the ball all. Just bounce to great strike on target, but again, it's not enough to make the keeper safe. Too straight.
5 minutes of time added on, then it'll be Canary call. Watch along on the BBC Norfolk website. Forson not strong enough to hold on to possession high up the pitch. Hull will just knock it into the Norwich half, and it will go away for a throw-in to the Canaries.
In all fairness, Hull has been very smart second half. They've been locked in, trying to frustrate the pattern of Norwich playing, and managed to get 2 goals. And if you don't score goals, you can't win games.
Well, it's the same pattern, Cedric. Yeah. Norwich better side in the first half, but the second half, one tactical adjustment, one little change from the opposition, and that's been enough to completely outfox Norwich City. We've seen this before.
Yeah. All they did second half, Hull, is just to change tactically. You just went 3 at the back to challenge
and that's
Norwich.
all it takes.
Yeah.
And we've said before, half-time in Championship games this season, Norwich have done well enough, but the tail off of the second half is just ridiculous. Ajay fouls Schlupp. Norwich have a free kick halfway inside the whole half. They're doing their best to give the impression of a side that's trying to keep going here, Norwich, but they must know.
No. You look in the first half with Schlupp on the right-hand side, you go, oh, wow, yeah, he's up to the level, he's got his fitness back whatsoever. And then second half, we didn't see nothing.
Yeah. Free kick for Norwich City. McLean from deep hits it into the penalty area. It's come off a Hull defender and will run away for a corner. We've had a minute and a half of stoppage time. 5 were signalled. Norwich are 2-0 down against Hull. They have got a corner, which McLean goes over to take. On the right-hand side. Everybody forward here for Norwich City, bar the goalkeeper. McLean's frantically waving his hands to get everybody in close to the goal as the corner's delivered and the goalkeeper catches it. I don't think we're even going to get a consolation here, Cedric. Norwich are going to have 2 goals in 6 games.
In all of fairness, that ball is a good ball, but we don't challenge it.
And here's Cody Drame on the right-hand side. Plays it up early here for Hull, cut out by Topic. Darling has it for Norwich City. Chris Goran, the Danish substitute, finds Topic. Now it goes to Schlupp. Schlupp to Duffy. Or just about finds Topic. Topic squares it to Schlupp. Norwich have possession, but they're deep inside their own half with it, and they're 2-0 down at home, and it's going to be 7 straight home defeats for Norwich City. McLean on halfway, gives it to Duffy.
McLean is getting frustrating. You could see that he's trying to push everything forward and making things ticking.
McLean hits it long. Sargent making use of himself in the penalty area. Can't find a teammate though, booked away by Giles. Throw into Norwich on the far side. It's going to be taken to Topic on the right hand side. Here's Mirko Topic for Norwich City. Topic back to Kenny McLean. McLean puts the ball in the penalty area. Sargent slips, so can't attack the ball. It's cleared away. Duffy keeps the ball forward. McConville on the right hand side. Lays it off towards Sargent. It runs free. Chris Goran gets something on it. Back to Schlupp. Now McLean from deep for Norwich City, who are 2-0 down at home. McLean finds Forson, edge of the penalty area. Chris Goran goes for it. Blocked though. Hull have just got enough defenders back to deal with anything that Norwich can throw at them. McLean tries again from deep. Down goes Darling on the edge of the box. Nothing doing. Goal kick. A minute and a half to go, Cedric, and the misery is going to continue at Carrow Road.
Yeah. The home games have not been good enough, especially second half. You make a great point at half time, even before the game. That second half, Norwich seems to be collapsing collectively.
It's happening too often now, Cedric.
Yeah.
This cannot be a coincidence, can it?
No, exactly. And I think everything the game is based on data and so on and so on. I'm pretty sure that the Norwich City staff have seen that as well.
But is it tactics? Is it fitness?
I think it's a bit of both.
Today,
I think it's a bit of both today, yeah. And it's just the second half we completely collapsed. The structure was all over the place. Yes, he's trying to bring some energy from different players and so on, but the confidence is not there. The pattern of playing is not there.
McLean on to Mirko Topic, who takes the game forward towards the Hull penalty. Crossed it into the box. Oh, actually, doesn't really deal with it, but Sargent can't get to it the second time. And it's cleared away. Nobody was really anticipating the error there, were they, from a Norwich point of view?
His opposition make mistakes, and we don't punish them. We make one mistake and we fell 1-0 down.
Hull are looking good though. 6 games without defeat for them. They are a team that can have realistic top 6 ambitions, judging by this. As McLean comes forward for Norwich City. McLean 20 yards out. He's gone into the penalty area, hits a shot. It's blocked, and it goes away for a throw.
Again, everything cannot.
Well, there it is. Listen to this. Just listen to this. That tells you a story. Norwich City have just lost their 6th match in a row. They've lost 7 out of 7 at Carrow Road this season. And now, as the boos fade, they're replaced by chants of "We want Napa out" from a lot of those fans who've stayed in the ground. The problems are mounting at Carrow Road for Norwich City. They're a club in crisis, and it's deepening by the week, isn't it, Cedric?
Yeah, completely. The confidence is completely dropped. Rock bottom. Manning has got a lot of work to do if he's going to be like Mark Atanasio was saying. He's got a full backing of the staff, the board and everything. It's a lot of work need to be done, not just in terms of structure and whatsoever, in terms of confidence. Psychologically, the players need to have a good look as well. You need to have a meeting with each other. It's not saying the same things week in, week out. We need to have the players to step in the plate and show some character week in, week out now. We are in a position that, we need to scrap for each other. We need to find a togetherness and trying to get some points.
Well, Mike Atanasio said this week that relegation is not an option. On this evidence, it's looking like a distinct possibility. Norwich have lost 7 out of 7 at Carrow Road this season. They've lost 6 games in a row, and they've only scored twice in their last 6 matches. It's appalling. Norwich are in the bottom 3 for a reason. Norwich City 0, Hull City 2.
0800 389 7321. Thanks very much, Chris Gorham. He's going to go and speak to the head coach, Liam Manning, if we can't bring that to you between now and our 3 o'clock kickoff for Kings Lynn. It will be on the programme later, so make sure you stay with us on Saturday Sport until 6 o'clock. Over to you, though, now. 0800 389 7321. Another Saturday and another defeat for Norwich City. Norwich 0, Hull 2.